Watermelons from the fields to the distribution area. They're going to be sent all across the country and the world. Mesmerizing in shape and in size. This is Zensuji City, about an hour from Okayama by car. That's where the Shinkansen line comes from Tokyo. This city is also famous. Yamashita-san's watermelon field. His father grew the first square watermelons in Zensuji City over 50 years ago. Down there among the bushes are baby watermelons. Flowers, they'll blossom into watermelons like this. They normally take about 3 months to grow. This small watermelon is a good candidate to become a square watermelon. Yamashita-san took me out to see his square watermelons growing in special metal and glass boxes. じゃあこれ。
これこんなぐらいで取ってある。もうあと4、5日したらこれがくっついてくる。
はいはいはい。そうね、まだ隅に入らなかった。
四隅ここ。
はい。Growing square watermelon. The watermelon expands evenly, hitting the glass walls at the same time, the pressure flattening it out on all sides, including the top and bottom. After 2 weeks, it's almost ready to harvest. Just the corners need to grow in a little bit more. And here's one. You can see that it's really bolted down tight. Nature is powerful. The square watermelon is gently removed from the case. It's a fruit, easy to damage, so imperfections mean that it can't be sold at stores. You can see flat surfaces, a very bizarre sight for a watermelon. The pressure was too much for the glass this time. It'll have to be replaced. The case is reused more than once during the season. It can be repaired and used again. It's quite pretty. The corners are good. Almost all stripes are straight.
あとな、グリーン。
A bouquet of flowers or a painting. But does it really get much attention in the Tokyo city streets? I took my square watermelon to Shibuya to see if it Hachiko scramble. Prices for a square watermelon vary greatly as resellers see why a square watermelon can last for months. It's harvested unripe, little sugar content, just a capsule of water and fiber.
期間が長く持たんといかん。で、売れたら完熟したら1週間ぐらいしか持たんのですよ。だから今度出荷した時にその普通のお店屋さんに行くんやったら最低4、5日かかるやないですか。ほんだらもうあと2日か3日ぐらいしか持たん、スイカが。でそれではやっぱり高いお金出して買うてくれて。やっぱり観賞用の商品にならんので、やっぱり売れる前に、こう熟する前にちぎるんです。
In Tokyo in the summer, you can see square watermelons on display. They are really ornamental, even if for sale. It gets more people in the store to have a look. Yamashita-san showed me the official trademark registration and geographical indicator, or GI certificate. The history goes back over half a century, the innovation recognized in commercials, newspapers, TV shows around Japan. A photo of his father, the inventor brave enough to try something new, the 18 by 18 centimeter size supposed to make it easier to fit in a refrigerator and easier to transport. Proud of. To many, it seems like a shame not to be able to eat it, but let's face it, it wouldn't be special if you chomped it down like an ordinary watermelon. When I visited in 2016, I noticed nearly everyone was over 60 years old. Unless younger farmers took up the practice, the square watermelon would be in danger of going extinct. However, in the last few years, there's been some success on that front. In 2022, some new farmers joined in, and the future looks better than before. Sugimoto-san was a sheet metal worker before becoming a farmer, invited to take part in the Square Watermelon program.
次世代、次の世代に残す大事なものかなと思いますけど、難しいです。
難しいですね。
30本、スイカを30本植えて7個しか取れなかったので、みんな100本植えて何本取れるのかな、100近く、100本と植えたら100個ぐらい取るのに30本植えて7本。
その難しいですか？
難しいですね。
Here's the newest Square Watermelon farmer, only 25 years old, and she's certainly working hard to increase successful squares, but it's hard. It also requires daily attention. Those special watermelons become a part of the family for a long time. Watermelons typically take 70 to 90 days to grow, approximately 2 to 3 weeks, or the zigzag lines aren't straight. It's just not square enough. Risk-reward is high. It's not an easy thing to grow. So, what happens with those imperfect square watermelons? You can't sell them, they taste bitter, unripe, so they're recycled for fertilizer, destroyed, or given to people like me to dissect for scientific purposes, of course. The city of Zensuji is famous for their watermelons, among other produce. For the farmers and residents, it's really a tranquil place to live. This morning, the harvested square watermelons are brought to the warehouse. Each farmer driving in their watermelons, Yamashita-san bringing in about 70 of them. It's kind of surreal to see how neatly they fit in the bed of his truck. Perfect. You can't roll them out. They're square, so carefully tip and lift them. The team lays them out on a table for processing. More trucks come throughout the morning, bringing in a fairly large harvest this year. By mid-morning, the first harvest is in. Yamashita-san judges each square watermelon for imperfections. Some don't make the cut. No watermelon is perfectly alike, but only quality square watermelons will be boxed and shipped to stores. Square watermelons that pass inspection are given the trademark seal from Zensuji. It's how you know you get the original. This year, 420 square watermelons were grown and 400 sold, a successful year. The next stage is boxing them. The boxes are brought out. Each watermelon will fit perfectly inside. Earlier in the morning, the team got together to make them. Hand assembled. There are a lot of observers today, including a local school. Perhaps some of these kids will become farmers too. The team then starts to carefully place each square watermelon in a box. Each is 18 by 18 centimeters in size, so they all fit without any issues. Just a little squeaking when they go in. To protect the watermelon, pillow-like package filling fills in the gaps. Info on the square watermelon is also added. and then they're taped up and ready to be shipped to stores around Japan and the world. Yamashita-san gives an annual interview to the Japanese media about the current harvest and the process that has fascinated the country for so many decades. I'm there too, and part of this year's story.
ジョンさんに詳しくは8年前にもその取材にそれから取材で来ていたということで、全世界に全通寺の四角いスイカを届けしたいなというふうに思いました。
Watermelon country. Many years ago, it was hard to find someone, anyone, to continue growing square watermelons, but there's always one person there to step up.
ほんでお父さんがもう年がいってできんようになって、ほんでその部会員に誰かお願いをしたんやけど、みんなしてくれんでほんで僕がするようになったんです。
未来はどうでしょうか。
残して、我慢してやってたら、いつかもっと注目を浴びる日が来るかなとは思ってます。
だから全筋にやっぱり四角いスイカ大事ですね。だから続けたい。何年
もっと宣伝した方がいい。
いいことですね。
For Japanese is starting to pay off. And let's be honest, producing something that's so unique, so perfectly square, is a satisfying feeling for the farmers and for the admirers. What do you think of the square watermelon of Zensu